There was a time when I believed the stories I was told. And one of the fairy tales society has told me is you have to be successful. That means for a guy, make a lot of money in order to be happy and fulfilled. And I like to tell you this is one of the biggest lies. And I will explain you why. For the first 40 years in my life, I was a loyal follower of this idea. Very loyal. I started my career in the corporate world and I climbed the career ladder rather quickly from the humble beginnings as a sales rep to the General Manager's Award. It was exciting, it was challenging, but after a while it got a little bit placid. And to be honest, I wasn't really happy. I looked for something else. More speed, more adrenaline, more challenge, faster, higher, further. There must be more. And I became an entrepreneur at 29. My company, BMO, grew fast, I would say. After a few years, we were 20 people, 1,000 freelancers, and 250,000 monthly cost. Very shiny on the outside, very damned hard work from the inside. Damned hard work from the inside. My business grew and my joy shrank. I spent the weekends in the office instead of playing with my 4 children. You know what? I always wanted to be a good husband and a good father, and I was torn. Maybe I confused pleasure with happiness. Did I know the difference? I don't know. I can tell you, even the most prettiest car, I always rewarded myself with beautiful sports car, even the most prettiest car, after a while, is a used car, and somehow probably it's just a compensation for the inner void. I was confused because I did exactly what society has told me, but I couldn't feel it. I felt empty, unfulfilled, not as a hero, rather than a prisoner in his own golden cage. And one day I thought, I have to change something. I had a great idea. I hired a Feng Shui consultant. You know what Feng Shui is? You know about the Qi. I said we have to change the energy. The Qi in our 600 square meter office loft, it was a very intense and also very expensive experience. You know what? The Feng Shui consultant annoyed me again and again and again, telling me, Bert, you doesn't make the happiest impression on me. And I always said, for me, everything is fine. I'm okay. I pretended. You know what? I was stubborn and very good. Probably I'm a champion in repressing. One day, we had another conversation about energy improvement. Somehow she cracked the ice which surrounded my heart. And I registered to a very special business seminar. Let's jump to Switzerland. Imagine a beautiful room, a wooden room in an amazing Swiss castle. In that room were a circle of chairs. You see them? And underneath the chairs were boxes of Kleenex, tissues. I thought, where did I end up here? It became even worse, because when the first focus person started crying, my ego told me, Bert, you have to leave. These are crazy people, they are idiots. You have to go, I have to go, and I have to tell you, I was not brave enough to stand up and leave. I had a better idea. I thought, tonight, when everybody is asleep, I run away. Something hold me back. And that changed my life. Because on the next day, I was the focus person. And the coach said, Bert, let's talk a little bit about a nice, juicy problem. I don't have any. I pretended. Then he said, Bert, if you work hard, something is not working. This bullet hit me very, very hard. I was confused and I was angry because this was my concept, this was my belief. Hard work is the foundation of success, isn't it? It took me quite a while to understand the meaning. For me, this was a wake-up call. It was an invitation to reconsider my beliefs. And I started a plus 20-year quest into this idea of where can I find meaning, fulfillment, real success. I dived very deep, very, very deep into the world of philosophy, neuroscience, evolutionary biology, positive psychology. I wanted to understand why we are who we are. And, I had to realize that what I was looking for, you cannot find outside of yourself. You can only find it inside of yourself. And you know what I have found? My vocation, my mission, my dream, my calling, and I call it the decade of humanity. The decade of humanity is not a romantic concept, Can you imagine what is happening when you are an entrepreneur and a business guy and suddenly you talk about humanity? My C-level friend said, Bert, are you giving esoterical talks now? And I said, yes, I do. This is exactly, humanity is not a romantic concept. Also, I see myself being a romantic guy. But it means better understanding of human beings. And I believe that we have to have a much better understanding about human beings. You learn everything about anything, but you learn nothing about yourself, right? We learn things we don't need. We make jobs to impress people we don't like. This is stupid. The decade of humanity puts people first. Because I believe that humanity is the precondition for long-term success. Humanity, or in the decade of humanity, there is a principle which is called joy, truth, success. What does it mean? Where your joy is, your individual joy, there is your truth. Where your truth is, there is your success, which is always a consequence. So you see, the concept of society is wrong. It's not the question that you have to be successful in order to be happy, it's the other way around. Would you agree that you have much more power when you do the things with love and passion instead of doing it with sacrificing yourself? Too many people change life for money. And I would like to suggest, do not change life for money. You will not survive that. Because in one of my books there is a beautiful chapter which is called Work is either joyful or it makes you sick. Unfortunately, most people in the society are sick because of labor conditions. And I would like to change that. And I need your support for that. Would you agree, and this is also a principle of the decade of humanity, would you agree that business has always to do with people? Even in the digital world, it had always to do with people, creating spaces. We are multisensorial creatures, and it is always about people. So this is the first idea. The second idea, business and the quality of your business depends on the quality of your relations. Right or wrong? Yes. Thank you. So the question then is, who is your most important caregiver? Who is the most important, what is the most, or who is the most important relationship in your life? I would suggest the one you see in the mirror. Are you kind to the one you see in the mirror? Can you say yes to the one you see in the mirror? Can you say, I love you, to the one in the mirror as easy as you do it to your friends, pets, family, and everything? If you have difficulties, we have to talk, because everything starts there. And you know what? I want to give you a very practical example how to find your calling, how to find your destiny. Would you like to know how to find it? You have a device, and I call it the best navigation system in the world. The best navigation system in the world is called EPS, which stands for Emotional Positioning System. And it's delivered at birth for free. Would you like to use it? Are you trained? Do you know your EPS? Would you like to use it? Would you like to get in touch with your EPS? If you like to, then let's make a little experiment. For that, I would like to ask you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and trust me, nothing awful will happen. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And now put your right hand on your heart. My heart beats very fast in this moment. Put your right hand on your heart. Inhale into your heart. Try to feel it. Try to feel it. Can you feel it? Your heart beats 100,000 times a day without extra payment. Your heart is your best compass. Already Goethe knew that. Try to connect with your heart. Inhale again, deep in your heart. Are you connected? If you have the feeling you are connected, now ask your heart. Heart, what do you really want? Heart, what do you really want? Listen carefully. Listen with empathy. What is your heart telling you? Do never forget, whenever there is an issue, whenever you want to know in which direction you shall go, use that. Ask your heart, because only there you will find your truth. Whatever you do, do it with your whole heart, and I promise you can't avoid being successful. Take one more breath. Open your eyes. Come back into the room. Thank you for participating. I hope you could feel anything, and don't punish yourself if not. It takes a while. You have something built inside which is always there for you. And by the way, I have brought a very famous lady, Baroness Shafik. She is the former president of London School of Economics. You know what she said? She said, Bert, in the past, business was about muscles. This was my time, right? Today it's about brains, and tomorrow it's about hearts. You see, I'm not alone. Do you believe, would you agree that it's damn time to change the business world for the better? Stop sacrificing. You know what? I work deeply in the field of biology, and I can tell you there is a beautiful insight, because biology comes from the Greek, and it means bios and logos. And I translate bios and logos into logic of life. And you know what the logic of life is? Uniqueness. There is no better you than you. Everybody is somebody. Every human being is unique. And now you can think about, oh, is this a threat or is this a gift? I would say this is a gift. So what you have to do is try to find out who you are and live accordingly. And as a practical tool, I would like to say you have 3 magic powers. Bosch would call them power tools. You have 3 magic powers. The first is the way you think. The second is the way you speak. And the third is the way you behave. We cannot necessarily control the outcome, but we can always control these 3 elements. And when you are good in doing that, you can steer your life into the right direction. You reconsider the way you think. Reconsider the way you speak and reconsider your behavior. And sometimes think about, for instance, to give you an example, whether you think you can do something or whether you think you cannot do it, you're always right. This is a quote from Henry Ford, and you know what I want to say with that? So think about what you think and why you think the way you think. And speaking, ask yourself, are my words of elevation, growth, and confidence, or the opposite? Words are very powerful. And in terms of behavior, I want to share another beautiful insight from the Decade of Humanity. The most important KPI in the Decade of Humanity is the so-called ROK, which stands for Return on Kindness. Why not become the kindest individual in your life? Become the one who says most of the time, yes and please. It will make an impact. Trust me. And now I can tell you, now it's on you. I always like this idea, today is the day. Let's forget about yesterday. Do not spend too much time in tomorrow. Today is the day. Today is the day. And today is the day to reconsider my beliefs. And today is the day to apply this superpower here, which is an additional superpower. It sounds a little bit like Harry Potter. If we change the way we look at things, things change. This is not Bert Ohnemüller, this is quantum physics from Max Planck. Change the way you look at things and things change. So when you change your perspective, you change the world. And today is the day to start new, to make a new decision. Today is the day to change comfort for courage. Today is the day to take a risk you have never done before, because you know what? The biggest risk in life is a riskless living. Today is the day to break your heart. Today is the day to break your heart. Feel free to use your tissues in the bag. Start crying again. Connect with your soul, and spread diamonds of the soul. Today is the day to break your heart until it opens, says Rumi. Now it's your turn. Take a step. Take it in faith. You are not alone. Thank you.